Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Do I have a story for you guys today? Greetings everyone, this is District 900, and as you saw by the title and thumbnail of this video, I found some rather special Pokemon games. And they're not just any games. They are Japanese versions of Pokemon Red, Blue, Gold, and Silver that I found at a local retro game shop, all for very cheap. The Red, Gold, and Silver all went for around $12, while Pokemon Blue costed a little bit more, but only maxed out at $20. Now I know what some of y'all are probably thinking. How the hell did you get these for so cheap? And the simple answer to that question is that for some reason, Japanese versions of mainline Pokemon games tend to go for significantly cheaper than, say, North American copies of the same game. I don't have an exact reason for why this is the case. Maybe I'll do a video about that and delve why this is the case. If you want to see something like that, maybe leave a comment down below. And also subscribe while you're down there, and leave a like on the video as well on top of all of that. Now, I could have easily just explored these cartridges on my own, off camera, but I felt like it would be kind of fun to see if there's anything on these cartridges and explore them on camera. And to do that, I could hook them up to my Epilogue GB operator, but I've been having some issues with that thing erasing save data on cartridges that I insert. I tested like 10 cartridges before I started making this video, and I had 2 cartridges had their save files erased. So a 20% chance that these cartridges could get wiped by just simply inserting them into the GB operator does not sound all that exciting to me. So, as a bit of a compromise, I'm going to hook them up to the Super Nintendo with the Super Game Boy and just explore them that way, since it's a lot safer, even if the quality is not going to be quite as clean as it would be just getting a direct capture via an emulator or a capture card. And yes, that does include Gold and Silver as well, even though they're labeled as Game Boy Color cartridges. They are still optimized for the Super Game Boy, since these are technically Game Boy Color cross-compatible games, meaning that you can play them not just the Game Boy Color, but also the original Game Boy. And so I thought it would be kind of cool to see what Gold and Silver look like on the Super Game Boy. So, let's get these guys hooked up and see what's on here. Alrighty, got the Super Nintendo all hooked up. Pokemon Red is in the Super Game Boy. I'm gonna have to excuse the awkward setup here. This is the best I can do without the GB operator being fully functional, but regardless, let's get started with Pokemon Red. And we are still going to have a face cam in the form of my iPad, as you can see with the TV reflection. Anyway, let's get started. Gotta love that sound. And it's not centered, but I've had to deal with setting this thing up for too long, so we're just gonna roll with it. I'm gonna turn the volume up as well. Cool. Oh, right, I forgot. Because this is the very original version of Gen 1, the title screen is a little bit different. This is so cool. Man, seeing all these early sprites for the Gen 1 Pokemon is wild. Some of them look very similar to the sprites that Japanese Blue would end up changing. In fact, I think all the sprites, all the front Pokemon sprites, got changed for Japanese Blue, and eventually, yeah. I'm just about lost the words. Let's just get started here. And okay, so Pokemon Red is a strikeout, as there is no save file on this cartridge at all. Whether it's because of the previous owner or the battery might be dead. Not a good start so far, not gonna lie. Alright, well, this is a good time for me to get the camera readjusted as we move on to Pokemon Blue. Hey, right off the bat, That's what we like to see. And I did get my phone's camera readjusted for the rest of the shots. And oh, we see Pokémon stars at the top. And yeah, this is gonna look a little bit more familiar, especially for those that played the international version of Gen 1. That's because oh, we have a save file on this. Ooh. Yeah, because international Gen 1 actually just simply was built using Japanese Blue as a base, and this file was literally just created. Does this really count? I mean, we have no badges, no playtime, literally fresh save file. Okay. So, both versions of Gen 1 were a strikeout. That kinda sucks. But, we still have 2 games left to take a look at. And that is, of course, Gold and Silver. Let's look at those next. Stupid old cartridges. Oh boy. Alright. As like my iPad wobbles. Yeah, this is gonna look a little different for those that are familiar with how Gold and Silver normally looks. But yeah, Gold and Silver are indeed Super Game Boy optimized games. Pokemon Crystal was not, however, as of course we all know that was a Game Boy Color exclusive game. But this is so weird seeing Gen 2 in not full color. And I don't think many of us knew that these borders even exist. But it was around like Pokemon Yellow when the version differences started to become a little more consistent between Japanese and international versions. Looks like the time was not set correctly, because we do have a save file. Oh no, zero bad. Yeah, the wants us to set the time correctly. I don't know Japanese, so I'm just gonna go with what it's showing us. Yeah, this is a bit of a different view, huh? And this is another fresh file. Yeah, no badges, no Pokemon. Yikes! I mean, might as well walk around New Barktown, because... Oh my god, the Pokegear was not even obtained yet. That is... Wow. You know, it might actually be kind of interesting to play through. I believe that says Sunday, but... Yeah. And like I said, I don't know Japanese, so I'm just, Yeah, this is a bit of a different view, isn't it? This is wild. Alright, well... So we're 0 for 3 for... actually, proper save files. So I guess that'll just leave Pokemon Silver. I don't have high hopes that we're gonna find a file on that one. Alright. Last game of the pack. I don't have faith. After what we saw with, Time not set. Okay, so same... Well, let's just, same thing as gold. There's nothing on any of these files for files that have been created. Oh, jeez. I thought we were gonna have something special here today, but nope. Unfortunately. Oh, I changed the text speed to slow. Oops. Let's at least just go get our starter and show a battle. I think I'll choose... Oh, it doesn't matter for this. So I think I'll just, let's choose Cyndaquil. Just for the demonstration of this video. Let's check out our Cyndaquil. Oh wow, I forgot how different the status screen is in Japanese Gen 2 versus English Gen 2. And of course, it's holding the berry, as per usual. And it's gonna give us the potion. Alright, let's go check out a battle then. Because, I've never actually seen Gen 2 battles in, on the Super Game Boy, so this is gonna be really interesting for me to see as well. Oh, a little bit of a delay, but... Alright, that looks pretty normal. That's much more in line with what we're used to seeing from, Gold and Silver, but the rest of the game, the overworld especially, this is very different. It even sounds a little different too, because the Super Game Boy actually runs at a slightly higher clock speed. So games run an average little slightly faster on the Super Game Boy, compared to just playing on an actual Game Boy. And because of that, the audio sounds a bit higher pitched. If you can tell the difference, then you know. This is trippy though. It kind of sucks that none of these games have a complete save file, and I believe... I wouldn't be surprised if these all came from the same owner, and they probably, and they'll probably wipe these cartridges and then just testing them all before selling them to the retro game shop. But because we do have save files on these gold and silver cartridges, that means the batteries are still good. That's another thing too. Because, gold and silver are pretty infamous for sapping through their batteries because of the real-time clock. Let's get the Cherry Grove and see what the colors look like in there. Oh wow! The colors for the bag look very different too. Man, this is so fascinating. Alright, Cherry Grove. Ooh, that's a nice shade of pink. I like that. And yeah, just like Gen 1, the inside of the Pokémon Center. Oh, I didn't realize that the labels for the signs for the Pokémon Center and Pokémart are different in the Japanese versions of Gen 2. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I think it would be kind of neat to maybe play through Gen 2 on the Super Game Boy just to see what the experience is like. But yeah.
Alright, so save file-wise, there was basically nothing on these cartridges, which admittedly does kind of suck, but it was still really cool to find these at a retro game shop at all. Because when you're trying to buy Japanese games, usually you're finding them on places like eBay, especially if you're going for like older games like Gen 1, for example. And there is a bigger risk that comes with that because you're not seeing these cartridges in person before making the purchase, so there's always the chance that it could be a scam of some kind, whether it be just a completely wrong game or if they're counterfeit copies. Unfortunately, these are legitimate copies that I got for such low prices. So even though I did get these for so cheap, they're still valuable parts of my collection, as these are actually the first times that I got to own any games in a different language, regardless of what game or language it was. But let me know in the comments down below, what did you think about this kind of video? And if you want to see more videos like this, I would love to do something like this again, but that'll all have to depend on what store I go to find these games and what prices I can get them for, because just because I got lucky this time around does not mean it's going to be the same for the next time.
maybe this will inspire me to bring my save file expeditions. In any case, if you enjoyed this video, maybe leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I would love to have you around. But regardless, that's going to do it for me in this video. I want to thank you all for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. This is District 900, signing off. Alright, Post Me coming in with a bit of a sad update. So I decided to take a further look at the cartridges after I finished making the main portion of the video. So, I did pop them into my GPU operator over there, and thankfully, all the save files that were on blue, gold, and silver did not get erased. I didn't bother backing up the save data, though, because there was nothing on them, even though they were technically created already. But I'm going to take this copy of Pokemon Red out of my Game Boy and put it back in, because I made an unfortunate discovery about this copy of Red. And that's the fact that the battery is dead. So that will explain why there's nothing on this copy of Red at all. That's very unfortunate. I just had my backup American copy of Pokemon Red and Yellow had their batteries die about a year or so ago, so that's not a good look for not the seller or the shop, but rather these cartridges to begin with, because these games are, they're almost 30 years old now, and the fact that I had 2 Gen 1 games, both had their batteries die, and now a Japanese game die because of a dead battery. That might be a cue for many more coming to Gen 1 to have their batteries die very, very soon. Not great.